Good morning. You've probably not heard one of my videos in a while. I've seen a video in a while. I've been nursing a pretty nasty cold the past few days. And some days I feel like I'm winning, sometimes I feel like it's winning. Came out to check on everything and get a little bit of lettuce, and I figure it's time to cut a little bit of lettuce. I'm gonna need to hopefully let food be my medicine. Right now you're looking at my fence working. It looks like he's having a good time with that clover in the back there. A little bit of grass, a little bit of clover. It looks like he's nipping at the grass. I have no problem watching bunnies when they're outside of my garden. Weather's been very wacky. It's mid-May. I believe it's the 13th, 14th. Honestly, I don't even remember what day it is. That's how bad this cold is. Regardless, it's middle May. And tonight we're going down to the low to mid 30s. A little nervous, but it's okay. The weather just seems to get more and more crazy every year here. And I guess the bunny's done with eating that grass that was standing up. I'm just gonna give you a quick little overview of the garden. I really don't have much of a voice to talk to you, so we'll go from there. I'm gonna start with what I'm really happy about, and I wish I had now, these blueberries. The bees have been doing a very good job. Let me, if I can get a nice little bit of a focus on them. Yeah, these are some very good looking blueberries. They got pollinated. Now I've got all these green blueberries that are slowly getting bigger and bigger on these plants. This one here has probably got at least 100. I've probably got at least 50 to 100 on most of the plants. I really can't wait till it's time to eat them. I have been eating blueberries from this store, but it's just not the same. They're just nowhere near as good. And now the bunnies decided to play hide and go seek. I see you back there, little rabbit. Okay, now let's go into the garden and get a quick little overview of everything else. This is my onions on the left, my black-seeded Simpson in the center. And as you go further back, there's the butter crunch, the red leaf, the romaine, and my pak choi. I'm going to cut a couple of pieces of the black-seeded Simpson. I don't know if the butter crunch is quite ready to be cut, so I might just leave that one alone. And I cut a couple pieces of romaine for sure. One of those times you wish you had your hydroponics setup going, but that is not the case right now. Let me show you what else we've got going on right now. This is where the carrots were. I basically get nothing. They would not germinate. I don't know what's going on, why they wouldn't. It's been a really wacky year, I think. So what I have here now is daikon, which is a white radish, an Asian radish, and behind that I have regular radishes. The radishes are just a scarlet red globe, and the daikon is just a EY daikon, which is a Japanese daikon. And if you look over here, you'll see on my tomato stakes a very sad thing. These are supposed to be all my cherry tomatoes, and it's very depressing. Let me zoom in and show you what's so sad about these things. These are the Super Sweet 100s that are in right now. That little tiny little seedling. I don't know what in the heck happened with those. I started them back in the middle of March, actually like the second week of March, and my boxcar willies grew great. The cherries, for some reason, this cherry did not do good at all. But it's okay. I've actually got a few things figured out already. I found a greenhouse that sells them for probably less than I was growing them for if you count the cost of electricity and soil. So I have replacement plants to put in here. I don't know what in the world's going on with these, but I'm not very happy with how they turned out. see many of them are that way. And now you're looking at the strawberries. It looks like I've got a few green strawberries. Let me pan in on it for you. Zoom in on it for you. I'm not even using the right words today. Don't know how well it's standing out, but there's a few green ones there, which is a good thing. Let me, if I can try to find any more. I don't really see them yet, but there's a lot of flowers. And I'm hoping that this is just a very good harvest all year. These are Albions, which will usually put out a moderate harvest in June, and then the rest of the summer they'll put out a little bit until it gets really hot, and then they'll put out a little bit more in the spring. They're looking pretty good. I apologize for you having to see all of these cinder blocks here. Just the way I was putting the plastic down, but now that I figured out the trick to it, you're not going to see them anymore. And in the background you can see our rascally rabbit. Oh, he just ducked into the bushes. Hey, Bunny, have a blast. Just stay on your side of the fence. Have a blast. Okay, now what else we got? Let's go to our beans, which are finally starting to look like beans. These are pencil pod wax. They're a black seeded bean. I don't know how well they're going to taste, but I think they're going to be good. They're finally coming up. I seeded a few more in between. I think I see one of them coming up over there. It's been raining the past, seems like forever, like 2 days. So I didn't really get it. I'm not going to really go into the mud to get close to you. I'm just going to zoom in with the camera. And also I have the peas that are starting to finally look like peas back there. The weeds are still going crazy, and I kill them and they come right back, and it's just a mess. I got to figure out something with peas and weeds. I'm considering starting them next year indoors and then transplanting the pea plants outside. I've seen a few sources do that, and I've seen a lot of places now selling them like that. I don't know how well it's going to work, but right now I'm up to trying anything to try to solve this weed issue with these peas. And now you're looking at my broccoli on the left, cauliflower on the right. The broccoli is definitely making some good strides in growing. These things were just little straggly plants when I put them in. They're just little tiny things. Looking much better now. Looking much better now. And the cauliflower is growing fairly fast too. I'm not going to say either of them are doing bad. The ones I'm worried the most about that I want to look nice are the Romanesco, just because it's something that's different. They're looking good also. They're about halfway back. The little sign that says Romanesco is now blocked by a broccoli. And they're looking fine as well. And the last thing I have here in this last row are my peppers. I don't know how they're going to fare with what's going to happen tonight. Thankfully I don't have all my peppers in. Worst case, I'll just replant. I'm a little perturbed that I can get plants for so cheap this year. Usually I have such horrible luck finding them, but this year it seems like I've been very lucky finding cheap plants, and I think to myself, why did I start them indoors and waste that energy and time and money? I don't know. And lastly here I want to show you the rhubarb and asparagus. The asparagus is starting to go, the stalks of them coming out of the ground, spears, I think of the word, are getting pretty thin. So I'm just going to let them all start going into fern, which is what this one here is doing. And I might be able to harvest that one. It's just it's right about the thickness of a pencil, but you know what? Let's let these plants get some energy back. If they put up any big spears, I'll cut them, but I'm just going to let them do their thing. And I'm going to finish off with my rhubarb now. Now my rhubarb has decided to go to flower. I have 5 plants in here. I have 2 young and 3 older ones. Now everybody I've talked to has said the same thing. Cut the flower, kill it. You don't want these flowers. It's going to take too much energy from the plant. Get rid of them. I was thinking about it, kind of going back and forth in my mind, and I was like, you know what? nature seems to know best. It's not my job to play God, or how much I might want to. These plants know what's best for them. I'm gonna let them go to seed, go to flower. I'm gonna leave the flower stalks on. If I don't get a lot of harvest from them this year, so what? I have my 2 smaller plants. I think they're gonna give me some good rhubarb stalks I could eat. I'm just gonna let them go, and I may even divide them, because a lot of people say usually when they go to flower it's time to divide them. So I may divide them, and then next year we'll just focus on getting a harvest from them next year. I can't really blame the plant for bolting. It's been a really crazy year this year.